Sometimes in this life, we think that to be a follower of Christ, we have to be perfect, and it's in our perfection that God really works and God really moves. But in my own life, I have found that through my failures, through my most difficult experience in life, God showed himself and proved himself to be oh so faithful. Now, you might look at me every Sunday and say, oh, he has it all together. Things just seem great for John, or that John is so wonderful and so perfect. But the thing is truly, I'm broken. I'm broken yet healed. I'm a sinner yet striving to be a saint. But yet most of all, I'm totally committed. When I think of the term I'm all in, so many things stream through my head. You know, I'm present. But even in my presence, how many times am I broken? If you look at my own life, it hasn't been a life of perfection. It's been a life of failure. It's been a life of struggle. One who struggled not only in life, but in school. Yet then, all of a sudden, there was a turnaround moment where everything seemed to make sense in my life. And it was kind of in that moment that I started to capitalize and say, God, who are you in my life? It was in my own personal tragedies that I found God to be so present. In high school, my first girlfriend was tragically killed. And I didn't know what to do, how to live, how to move, yet God showed himself through my classmates, through my friends, and reminded me that I did not go on that journey all alone. Then many years later, when my ex-wife and I had our first child, Michaela, she was born early and didn't know what the outcome was going to be. But it was God's decision that she would not be physically with us today. And that as she passed, here we had two broken families that came together. But we also found that yet there was still hope. Even in the story of the resurrection, yet there is still hope. And even in the midst of all that was going on, my marriage became a failure. That I found myself so busy and so active in things that sometimes I didn't want to face the reality of my situation. So I steeped myself very heavily in my work, and I got involved in all types of things to keep me busy, but I forgot that my first ministry was to my family. And so while John was running all over town doing concerts and doing all these things, I was neglecting that which was the very center of the reason why I got married. And now today, I have a great friend and my ex-wife. We talk all the time, and we're doing the best we can in raising our son, not only to be a great young man, but to be a great young man who loves and has passion for God. Life is not about perfection. What I found over and over again is that in our weakness, God is made perfect. When we don't know what step to do next, or even when we make a step and it's wrong, God still reminds us that, like in the prodigal son, that yes, come home, my son, come home, my daughter, because no matter what you do in this life, there is nothing that can separate you from the love of God. So just know that as we move through this life, we're not always going to be perfect. We're not always going to make the right decision. But when we place our hands in the hands of the one who created us, then we know that we are all in and fully committed.